Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. It is another Newswalk video. I did 2 of these this week, I think. I had to do one at the beginning of it just to catch up with everything. There's so many things flying around. Things are calming down now, but normally you have a week and you have a whole bunch of news. So we're going to go over the news. I'm not really that excited about most of it, right? Is what you're going to see. Like, I was trying to decide, am I going to do a Newswalk video? And I wasn't that excited about most of it. But, all this is Doctor Who-y stuff. All this stuff is worth talking about. All this stuff is worth commenting on. Hopefully it'll be entertaining, right? If you like Doctor Who, hopefully, if you don't like Doctor Who, hopefully it'll be entertaining. But hopefully it'll be entertaining. That's really the goal. That's what we're shooting for. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things. Oh, you know it. Fan Dabby, double dozy, darling. Fan Dabby, double dozy. Thank you very much for doing all the things. And genuinely, I always got to stop myself because I always sound like I'm doing it by rote. Which I kind of am. I mean, let's be frank. The only way I remember to do freaking anything is by rote, okay? But and then I stop myself and go, oh, wait a minute, I am actually grateful. So thank you for hitting subscribe and like and share and all those things. It's really, really nice, okay? It's really genuinely very nice that you do that. Thank you very much. I have a thing called Substack, which is my email newsletter. It's in the video notes. Sign up for that! Oh my God, so great! I mean, honestly, I once saw somebody running down the street laughing gleefully. I said, why are you so happy? He said, well, 2 reasons. So what's the first reason? He said, first reason, I just signed up for the Rabbi from Another Planet Substack. I said, the free one or the paid one? Not even the paid one! They signed up for the free one and they're so happy. He said, what's the second reason? I said, I didn't have any legs when I signed up. They just grew back. That's how good it is, okay? I might be overplaying it, okay? But give it a try. I don't know. Maybe your legs will grow back. Like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are good. Oh, Instagram! I'm on Instagram now. I quite like Instagram, right? I'm surprised how much I like Instagram. I've been on it for like 3 days. But I put content on there all the time. I like Reels, right? I like trying to do the 60-second... Well, okay, no, I don't. Okay, here's the truth. YouTube is nice to me when I do shorts, which shorts are a rip-off of Reels. So if I do a Reel, I'll do a short. I should really start TikTok as well, but God, leave me alone, bloody... I mean... Why am I worried about the Chinese invading my privacy and finding out what's going on via TikTok? They can do it via everything else I'm doing. I mean, really? Why would I be worried about anybody finding out what I'm doing? I scream into my bloody, into a camera in my basement every day, screaming what I'm doing, right? I want everybody to know everything that I'm doing. So for me, being hacked and being found out what I'm doing, that's actually a good thing, right? So like Chinese, whatever you want. By the way, Chinese, if you are watching us, right? The Jews like Chinese food, right? The Hebrews do like the Chinese food. It is true. It really is. Jews love Chinese food. It's bizarre. Maybe in the New World Order, when you are our overlords, we can work out a deal. We're very amenable for a bit of General Tso's chicken. That's all I'm trying to tell you. If you want to grease the wheels, I want to give you some of the inside information into the world Jewish cabal. I wish there was a world Jewish cabal. I mean, really, could it be any worse than the things that that they are right now? Who knows? So like, share, subscribe, comment, Instagram, follow me on the Instagram, and let's start looking at the news, right? So the first news story, I am a bit, what's the word, ambivalent about. Why am I ambivalent about it? Well, because it's talking about the 6th anniversary of Doctor Who, which I'm very excited about, right? I think it's going to be really good. But it's Miriam Margolyes, and I can't freaking stand Miriam Margolyes. I really do not like her in any way, shape, or form. Now, why don't I like Miriam Margolyes? Have you ever heard the expression self-hating Jew, which is something that we Jews bandy around a bit? Self-hating Jew. What is a self-hating Jew? It's kind of like the Jewish version of an Uncle Tom, right? Out there, I've come to realize there are many weird attitudes about Jews. Actually, I have to tell you, I think the whole Kanye West, Dave Chappelle thing really does highlight us. Kanye West started talking about, you've got to watch out for the Jews. The Jews were, going to get him and things like that. It turns out, according to Dave Chappelle, who I kind of believe, I don't know either, I kind of believe, he was talking about like a Jewish mafia. And then Dave Chappelle's point was, which I kind of really genuinely hear. Like, if you have a bunch of Italians grouped together in a criminal enterprise, it's called the mob, right? If you have a bunch of black people clumped together in a organized criminal enterprise, they're called a gang. If you have a bunch of Jews clumped together in a criminal enterprise, it's just a coincidence, right? So I hear their point of view, but from the Jews' point of view, we're like, what? We don't do anything, leave us alone. Anyway, there's a lot of attitudes about Israel and Jews that come from people who don't like Jews, right? And you don't really realize that. I only know it because I'm on the inside, right? But many people's attitude towards Israel is they just really genuinely believe that Israel is a racist oppressor, like a white colonialist outpost that came into the Middle East, and we hate the brown people, and we oppress them, and everything the Palestinians say, everything Hamas says is absolutely true, right? It's not, but it doesn't help when we have morons like this, who goes, as a Jew myself, and sadly she is a Jew herself, as a Jew myself, I think the Israelis are terrible for murdering the Palestinians, and I go, we don't, asshole, we don't. She just buys into that freaking narrative completely. Why? Uncle Thomas, right? She wants to be accepted by the glitterati, right? The glitterati. That's why I really have so much respect for someone like Maureen Lipman or Rachel Riley, right? So much easier to keep your bloody mouth shut, right? So much easier to keep your mouth shut, but boy, actually, you know what? You know what it was? It's the same reason I got in trouble a few years ago. Because, you open up your mouth, you think you're on a moral point, and you think you have a right to do so. No! And you get trampled out. You didn't realize the consequence of it. But people like Miriam Margolyes freaking love the anti-Semitic narratives of Hamas, and just like, I understand that she's gay, so it's unlikely that she'll be sucking Jeremy Corbyn's cock. But if she could, she would. Okay? That's basically it. It's going, everything you say about the Jews is right. So anyway, on a personal level, I do not like Miriam Margolyes, right? She was an extra in a Harry Potter movie, in a bit part in a beloved sitcom from 50 years ago. Who gives a shit? Okay? But okay, she's around. So let's see what's going on. With that introduction, let's read the news story. Doc C, you got something unique here at this channel. I always want to give you a unique point of view. Doctor Who adds Harry Potter star to the cast for the 6th anniversary. Miriam Margolyes has reportedly joined the starry lineup. I don't think she's playing Tech 2. Okay, that's my guess. I don't think she's playing a new generation of... what was it? What they call her in Flux? I can't even remember. A woman in white? I can't even remember. Oh, Barbara Flynn played her, right? Yeah, she was good. She's good anyway. Barbara, weirdly sexy in A Very Peculiar Practice. Like, weird, like, maybe it's just I was young and horny, right? Why am I obsessed with Nicola Bryant? Because they squeezed her into spandex the exact millisecond I squeezed into puberty, right? And it was bit of a sticky explosion all round, really. But that still was just the time of my life, right? It was just the time of my life I was in. Maybe it's the same thing with Very Peculiar Practice. Maybe I just think Barbara Flynn was super sexy because I found anything super sexy then. Like, oh, look, there's a chair, that'll do. What am I saying? I'm over 50. I'm still the same way. I'm like, oh, look, that's a pencil. And I'm not even, that's what I'm like, okay? I am always horny about freaking everything. Okay? That's just part the hell of being me, right? I want to let you into my world. Fine, so let's talk about this story. Miriam Margolyes is reportedly the latest actor to join the upcoming Doctor Who 6th anniversary specials. Apparently 3 of them, with the 4th one. We're hoping that's the Christmas one. Which means they've got to get them out in a boom, pretty darn quick, because November 23rd is the premiere, I think, and then December 25th is traditionally Christmas. Which are coming to BBC next year, courtesy of the returning showrunner Russell E. Davies. I wonder, let's say they do a Christmas special, right? Shooting cut a quick Christmas special. Now, Disney normally likes to drop Christmas specials a little bit early, right? BBC likes to do it on Christmas Day. I wonder if they'll drop it internationally first on Disney Plus, and everybody in England's got to wait till Christmas Day. Maybe. Maybe. I can't even imagine the wailing and gnashing of teeth. No, I don't think that's going to happen. The set of 3 brand new brand new episodes? What do you mean? They're not clip shows? They're brand new. Of course they're brand bloody new. We'll pick up from the Power of the Doctor's shock cliffhanger. No, they won't. Right? They're going to pick... Okay. There's 2 things wrong in that, right? One, they're not. They're picking up an hour later, and that gap is being filled in by Doctor Who magazine's comic strip for the year. And the job of that comic strip is to explain why there is no reference to the Jodie Whittaker era, none whatsoever in the specials. Right? They want to forget that. They want to scrape that stank off as quickly as possible. If you're somebody who liked that era, God bless you. I'm very, very happy for you. Right? If you're somebody who enjoyed it, that's great. I didn't. I thought it was very bad on many, many, many levels. And my guess is, if you get upset with me saying that, you also think it was very bad on many, many levels. Look, people never forgive you for telling the truth. They hate that more than anything else. But if you liked it, God bless you, right? But the British public didn't. Like, the viewing public didn't. We generally hated it. And I think it's a bit of a cheat, me putting myself in with the British public. Firstly, I'm a bit of a weirdo, right? I'm a Doctor Who fan. That's sign number 1. Secondly, I don't live in England. Does that still make me British? I don't know. By the way, anybody coming to Israel anytime in like December, let me know, right? Let me know. I love mince pies and Christmas pudding. Now, getting kosher mince pies and kosher Christmas pudding is basically impossible here in Israel. My wife makes them, and she's wonderful, right? If anybody's coming out, though, and can bring me some mince pies, I will... somebody sent me a packet one year before. Don't do that, because they're not kosher, right? You have to find the kosher ones. But so, thank you for the thought, by the way. That was very, very nice. I think... who is it? Walkers. It's so annoying. In America, right? On most places you go around, if you want to know something's kosher, they got a little stamp on it for the little kosher symbols. You have like OU, Orthodox Union, and they all got a little stamp. The more squiggly the stamp, the more religious it is. That's actually a true thing. Weird but true, right? So, you just look on, whatever, and it's got the little kosher sign, I'll buy it. In England, they don't do that. You have to have a little book, right? You've got to look at... I guess people look on their phones now. But, yes, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let me know if you're coming out from England. Also, there's a book I really want, but I'm not paying the freaking shipping, right? There's a coffee table book on the New Adventures. I love the New Adventures. They're not so new anymore. They're like 25 years old, and they finish. But I used to love the New Adventures book range. I'm not. The book's £30. The shipping is. The book's £20, the shipping is $30. I'm not doing it, right? I'm not doing it. If you're going to Israel, let me know, mate. It's not a big country, I'll find you. Fine. Set of brand new specials. Brand new! Oh, yes, we're making them from scratch. Well done. Which saw Jodie Whittaker. Oh, yeah, of course. That's what sent me off onto a tangent, talking about Jodie Whittaker. Unexpectedly regenerating to David Tennant's 14th. How was it unexpectedly? Right? How was it unexpected? Really? I mean, it was all over the national press. Really? Was it? By the way, I wish I could have recorded this, but it was on Sabbath, so I couldn't. My wife's away. Thank God she's going to be back in a few days. Oh, God, it's been a long, dark 3 weeks. Let me tell you. Long, dark 3 weeks of the soul. So anyway, because Sabbath comes in way early this year, this time of the year, and you go offline then. You're not allowed to do it. But basically you have a big Sabbath meal, but you finish eating by about 5:30. So I invited a couple of neighbours to come join us so we could have talk, and we went longer. They had their little grandson with them, who was like 3, I think, who did a very good impersonation of me when I was like talking. He was like, really? It was very cute. I wish I recorded it. Anyway, I digress. It's now expected that David Tennant will lead the show through the 60th anniversary celebrations before passing the baton to Ncuti Gatwa, who will carry the show forward into an exciting new era. Finally, we agree, right? The Sun, always a bastion of of Indignatory the Sun. The Sun, although what am I saying? There's no news outlet where I go, oh yeah, I trust them. Reports that Margolyes has joined the cast of the special commemorative episodes, joining a starry lineup that includes Tennant Catherine Tate as Donna Noble and Neil Patrick Harris. I know why this came out, right? I mean, David Tennant and Catherine Tate, they announced, right? I think to get interest going. Neil Patrick Harris was seen filming, in the street, and that's why they released it. Why are they releasing Miriam Margolyes? Firstly, who gives a shit? It's Miriam Margolyes. If you like her, God bless you. I'm not a fan. I don't know. It's weird. That's an interesting. Why are they doing it? Is a more interesting question. The actor has enjoyed an illustrious career. Yes, again, she was an extra in Harry Potter and the fifth lead in a bit part in Blackadder. That's not illustrious. Okay, dating back to the 1960s with her famous projects including The Age of Innocence, Babe, Romeo and Juliet. I'm gonna guess she wasn't playing either Babe. That was a bit misnamed. Babe's about the pig. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Age of Innocence. Yeah, no, not so much. Romeo and Juliet. I don't think she's playing Juliet in those ones. Recently, she released an autobiography titled "This Much Is True." Well, I bet that even that title's not true. And has fronted the Channel 4 travel series with Alan Cumming. What's Alan Cumming titled "Lost in Scotland"? What? How did that show happen? Okay, we want to get two of the gayest people ever. We want a boy gay and a girl gay, right? We want that there. And we want them to go to Scotland. Why? Because it's a travel show. How? That sounds like a show made out of Mad Libs. What the hell? Alan Cumming. Again, you just get random things. Alan Cumming, Miriam Margolyes, Scotland travel. Okay, go. I've got to see that show. That show looks fantastic. No details available on who Margolyes might be playing in Doctor Who, but what's the word I'm thinking of? I was just going to use the word I normally use, but so far this podcast is PG-13, so I can't. No details who's playing, but fans who will hope the script utilizes the full range of her dramatic and comedic possibilities. No, I really hope they just don't use her at all. I don't like her, right? I don't like her. I don't like the Uncle Tomness of her. Margolyes has built a reputation for outrageous interview appearance, with the most recent on-air mishap being an explicit comment during the newly appointed Chancellor Exchequer Jeremy Hunt on Radio 4. Oh, really? Here's the thing. I remember I was talking to somebody at Big Finish who worked on the last, not Blake 7, Space 99 release, which was a thinly veiled Brexit analogy, right? If you ever heard it, thinly veiled Brexit analogy from somebody who was a Remainer. And I said to them, do you think any of us don't know what you think about Brexit? We all know, right? We all know. You think we don't know what your politics are, Miriam? We all know, right? We all know. Some quotes an insider saying the Doctor Who, the show's creators have felt she was a great character in real life, that she was a natural choice to play the character on the sci-fi show, which the BBC are keeping a very closely guarded secret. Well, not quite as closely guarded as Chris Chibnall used to keep it, but okay, fine. Question is, will we be seeing the Daleks in the 6th anniversary special? I think so, but I think we're going to go. We're not going to have the new Daleks. So this was a throwaway. This was a whole article from one throwaway line in Doctor Who magazine. Doctor Who's new era will redesign the Daleks again. Is a tie-up for the Bronze Daleks introduced in 2005? Again, maybe. I'm not sure, actually. My guess is this. I mean, he might get a paint job, but the 2005 Daleks are, I think, just so iconically perfect, right? Just in every way. It's everything that you would want a Dalek to be. I can't imagine them doing like a special Dalek. I always liked when they did that, by the way. And I can see Rusty Davis doing that. Do you remember Lee Sullivan was great at this? There was what was the comic strip? Was it a Colin Baker one? I can't remember. It was it was either Colin Baker or Sylvester McCoy strip where you had like this this psychic Dalek, which was this giant brain in a glass bowl, a glass globe on a Dalek skirt. So I think that's probably what we're looking at for a new Dalek, like a new function of a Dalek. And my guess is they're going to want to keep these I don't know. Maybe they want to do something completely different. But maybe a different paint job. But really, I think my guess is that this is still going to be the rank and file Dalek, right? I mean, how many times have they tried to redesign the Daleks since 2005? They did the Teletubby ones, didn't work at all. They did the Chimble ones, which were even worse, right? And then you had like the other Chimble ones, which were remote control, weren't very good, right? They weren't very good at all. Doctor Who's Daleks have undergone a few makeovers since they were turned into bronze machines of extermination back in 2005. 5 revival of the show, and now they're apparently ready for another one. But how much hold they'll get remains to be seen. So, interestingly, this is being done by the production designer. The new production designer is Philip Sims. They were asked in Doctor Who magazine what was he looking forward to about the new series, designing a new Dalek. So, my guess is this: if we are seeing Daleks, and I'll be really surprised if we don't, but if we are seeing Daleks in the 60th anniversary, they're going to be the traditional ones. I don't think we're going to be getting new takes on them. Just how major redesign remains to be seen. The Daleks reimagination for 2005, an angular-skirted, bronze-covered overhaul, and I always say this: I love that Rusty Davis made the skirts an inch wider, right? That you understood it to that level is very impressive to me, right? Genuinely very impressive. Where are we up to? Throughout, off and on throughout the tenure of every modern Doctor Who so far, with the alternate paint jobs specialising specialised variants like the Emperor and Supreme Dalek. Well, the Emperor looked different. Supreme Dalek was just red. And more. Yeah, I would really hope they go for multicoloured Daleks again. I love that, right? That's what I kind of liked about the Teletubby Daleks. I like they all had a different designation, right? They just didn't look good on screen. They look good as models, incredibly. They look good as action figures. They look good in comic books. They look good on print. It's just when you got to the screen, I think they were too tall. They wanted to make it the same height as Matt Smith. And something that I like about Daleks is they're short. And you do get this feeling like they're really mad about it. Like, look, most short men I think all short men I've known have always been very upset about being short, right? They're all like, I'm not littler than you. Well, you kind of are, mate. But okay, whatever. So that's the kind of vibe you got through a Dalek. Has persisted on different paint jobs, Emperor, Supreme, and more. But it's not like Doctor Who hasn't tried to do something with them. Do something different with them sometimes. In 2011, Stephen Moffat's Turner showrunner introduced the bulbous, candy-coated Dalek Paradigm, a controversial replacement which ultimately became a leader for the return of the Bronze Daleks. Yeah. They said, "Oh look, we're just making an officer class." Excuse me. Let me go grab my Dalek. Okay, this was called a drone. It's not an officer class. It was a bloody drone. But there's a lot on it that's cool. Like I like the organic eye. Man, I've got to give this a bloody dust, haven't I? Well, my wife be mad at me. She gets mad at me that I don't dust my action figures. I'm like, really? That's a big job. It's a big job. And it's like dominoes. I knock one over, they go, brrr. It's a pain in the ass. But yeah, look, I mean, I like the hatch on the back. I thought they were going to, like, deploy big weapons from the... They look good on, yeah, again, as a model. But in the, sadly, in real life, not so much. What can I tell you? Gorn and not forget, yeah, said, oh, we just invented an officer class. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. It was a screw-up. Christian Mozera likewise gave us the battered Recon Dalek. Yeah, a little stupid. In Jodie Whittaker's first special episode. Listen, they're all special, just not good special. Right? When you go to a special school, not good special. Resolution. But even that was less of a reimagining than the specialized take on the now standard Dalek. When they returned in force, when the Dalek showed up across the tenure of the 13th Doctor. The thing about the Bronze Dalek is, well, that people love it. No, it is it's not just people love it. People love it because they like Daleks, right? And it's very intrinsic to what a Dalek is. Thing about Bronze Dalek design as well, people love it. It's why it's persisted largely unchanged for 17 years. It's why it persisted largely unchanged for, was it 60 years, around there, 59 years? Attempts overall have been met with pushback. Will Doctor Who's next era attempt to fix what isn't broken? No, my guess is they're going to add in like a sort of specialist type of Dalek. Will they be as fearsome as the Executioner Daleks that couldn't open doors, right? They couldn't open a storage room door. Again, how does that happen? How does that get written in the script? Right? Or simply use a new kind of variant that to exist alongside what will become a classic design. As always with the show, time will locally tell. Yes, time will tell, Ace. Time will tell. Fine, moving on. You would have thought the people making a Doctor Who are very busy and they can't do anything else. No. 2 stories that tell us that we're wrong. Staged! Season 3's ready. I didn't even know they're making it. I mean, in all fairness, Staged doesn't look like something it's gonna like suck out a lot of resources to make. It was made in lockdown, right? But I'm amazed at doing a 3rd series. Stage the hit sitcom featuring the comically awful, insecure versions of David Tennant and Michael Sheen. They're wonderful, right? As they went when they went crazy during lockdown. Whoever wrote that it's the only show that was done in lockdown, I think, that really utilised it. We're returning for a 3rd season, and shockingly soon. The new series will be dropping exclusively on BritBox UK on November 24th. Blimey, that's like a week away. Hopefully, it will also be on BritBox in the US in time for Thanksgiving, so fans to sign up for the streaming service. As the official synopsis for Stage Season 3 goes, things have returned to normal for David and Michael. They moved on from lockdown and returned to their everyday working life, while Simon's career remains stagnant. Okay, he was the guy who wrote it. His phone does ring, but only to ask if he can get David and Michael back together. They've made it clear they want nothing to do with him. But Christmas is approaching. Simon hopes that the warmth of the season might soften them to the idea of doing a radio version of a Christmas classic. But that's as far as Simon's plan has got. Okay. I'm amazed that I didn't hear anything about this. Series created by Simon Evans and Phil Glynn will once again star Tennant and Sheen as themselves alongside partners Georgia Tennant and Aaron Lumberg. Yes, that was awesome, right? If you haven't seen Stage, I really recommend it. Both seasons are great. Who play the long-suffering versions of themselves that they are arguably the real stars of the show. No, I would disagree with that. The first 2 seasons of Stage was originally aired on BBC One in the UK. Series creator and writer Simon Evans also plays the wimpy and cowardly arsehole version of himself as he really is like that, as he tries to keep up with what's left of his meager career going while playing one of the most useless directors you could possibly imagine. Listen, I think most directors probably like that. Season 1 was shot and set in the heart of lockdown in the UK as the Sheens and Tennants cope with the maddening and fear-ridden early months and realise that the reality of the pandemic in the UK. It's still kind of amazing to me that the whole lockdown was BS. we shouldn't have done that. I mean, but okay. Season 2 of Stage went meta, with the arc involving Hollywood taking an interest in remaking the show for US television, with the stars bristling as being pushed out the way so they pushed out to being cast to play themselves in the remake. So the pair of pissed off actors do? Why, they sabotaged the remake at every turn. When they talked to various Hollywood stars who expressed interest in starring in it. Of course, cue lots of celebrity cameras, including Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg isn't as good nowadays since the age of Trump, when she went as Georgia Tennant and Sheen's increasingly frustrated agents watch them torpedo their own careers and reputation in the process of sitcom. We should also know the show was coming back, because they shot a Christmas special last December while Tennant and Sheen were filming Good Omens 2. When's that out? I'm more interested in that, actually. As you can see, the publicity stills lockdown is now over for now, and the stars and their partners actually meet up. David Tennant is Doctor Who again, and they can all drive each other crazy in person as their partners pick up the pieces. Hilarity will certainly ensue again. I am very much up for that. So, as I said, you would have thought people making Doctor Who would be too busy, right? Especially Rusty Davies, right? I think he's writing all the scripts himself, right? Of the how many scripts? We know there's going to be 7 and 4 specials, and my guess is going to be 10 for the first season. But we don't know how many other shows. So you would have thought he's a busy boy, right? You would have thought he's a very, very busy boy. Not so much. Check this out. So this blows me away. Sadly, this was just after my period of watching children's TV. Now, you watch children's TV at 2 times in your life in the UK. When you're a kid and when you're a student, right? When you're a kid, you watch, you go, hey, Teletubbies. When you're a student, you watch, you go, hey, Teletubbies, because you're stoned out your bloody mind, right? When I say student, I mean unemployed wastrel as well. That fits into the same category. But, so I just missed. I became like, a grown-up and gainfully employed, just missing out the dark season, right? So I never saw it. So I'm not that psyched. But I bet many people watching are like, really? They're doing, and I'm amazed they're doing a new version on Big Finish. Now this is good news. I think for Big Finish, about a week or so ago, I was saying I doubt Big Finish are going to be able to keep up in the 2023-2024 Doctor Who world. They don't offer streaming. They're anchored to the past, and streaming is huge, right? So streaming has gone insane in the US. So much so that I think if they open like a Big Finish streaming service with their full catalog, they could probably get 50,000 subscribers. Paying something like $3 a month. That's 150 grand a month income they're making. That's what's it? 1.2. It's like nearly $2 million dollars of income a year. I guess they're making less than that now, right? I guess I mean, if you go through their output, there's about 6 releases. They're probably making their output right now is about 60 grand a year, right? And I think they can probably do better. And honestly, I think they can get 500,000. I think they get millions of subscribers. I think there's a big market for that catalog, which is huge. Then if they can team up with BBC Audio and get their catalog too, I think it will do very well. Oscar-winning actor Kate Winslet and TV titan Rusty Davies are travelling back in time together to revisit the sci-fi classic Dark Season in a very special series from Big Finish Productions. I tell you, Kate Winslet still hot. Okay, I've been with her. I've been with her throughout her career. Again, I should word that better. And she's aged with me. Still looking pretty hot. Originally airing 91, yeah. So 91 was the year. Was it the year? Was that the year I left England? No, it was like January 91, right? Was the year I left England. So I missed it, right? Originally airing in 91, Dark Season was the first TV drama created and written by Rusty Davies. The 6 episodes chronicled the adventures of 3 teenagers caught in a plot to enslave the human race, masterminded by a bleach-haired villain, Mr. Eldritch. The series starred Kate Winslet in her first major professional acting role as Reet, alongside Victoria Lambert as Marcy and Ben Chandler as Tom. Who now reunite on audio for the first time. Who now reunite on audio for the first time in 31 years. Also returning from the original series is Bridget Forsyth as Jessica Maitland and Grant Parsons as the mysterious Mr. Eldritch. Okay, fine. I remember, this was when I was in rabbinical seminary, right? I was gainfully employed. I was in rabbinical seminary at the time. And I was getting Dreamwatch magazine, right? Before it was DWB, then it turned into Dreamwatch. And they were raving about it. I was like, what is this show? My heart was taken away by Babylon 5 at the time. Alongside the trio of new heroes of the original cast members starred in Dark Season, Legacy Rising, four new full cast audio dramas, audio adventures due for release in May 2023. Kate Winslet said, I was delighted to be asked to come back. It's been genuinely moving and wonderful to revisit those early days of my career. What do you reckon the chance that Kate Winslet's back in Doctor Who? Good. Very good. I think it's a very strong chance he's back in Doctor Who. And what a way to start with the now legendary Russell T Davies. Well, listen, look, Kate, don't get too excited. I listened to The Mind of Hojak, which is what he wrote around the same time. Unlistenable garbage, okay? And I love Russell T Davies. I really treasure those early moments when I learned so much, those invaluable early days, starting out as a small fish in an enormous pond. It was a pivotal moment in my life. Again, he kept your clothes on for it, so, one of your more disappointing roles, I may say. Well, how old was she? I'm going to get in trouble, right? If she was underage, please keep your clothes on. By the time we hit Titanic, all good, baby. Now the story goes on, and if you really want to see like intense Kate Winslet sex action, what's the name of the movie? Oh, I can't remember the name of the movie now. She plays like a Yahtzee, I can't say the name of the, but like I think in Germany in the 50s or 40s, she has this torrid affair. It was something in Germany where she has this torrid affair with a younger bloke, and it is torrid, right? It's sorry, I did break out in a sweat more than once in that movie myself. I don't so much in those invaluable early days starting out as a small fish in an enormous pond. It was pivotal in life. Now the story goes on. There's a whole other generation of young people who will enjoy Dark Season. It's been absolutely loved, and it's been absolutely lovely to be invited back and be able to give my voice to the character again after all these years. It's very special. I imagine it is, right? I really imagine it is. I mean, like, she's in a wonderful place in her career. Rusty Davis added, this has been one of my great joys in life. The first show I ever wrote, back again with a brand new adventures, and to get all the cast back together, and Kate, Victoria, Bridget, Grant, and Ben, it's the greatest compliment of all, as all of us united in very happy memories. The sequel comprises of 4 stories. Spring by Tim Foley. It's a solid writer. He hasn't done much but bad. Summer by Chris Chapman, also solid. Autumn by James Goss. They're pulling out the big guns. And finally, Winter by Rusty Davis. Again, this is what really annoyed me about Chris Chibnall. Like it was clear to me that he wasn't a writer. Because if you are a writer, you can't stop bloody writing, which is what Russell does. For as long as anyone can remember, there have been stories about Bishop Graves School, terrible secrets that were buried within the foundation, screaming to be unleashed. Some children spoke of ghosts, others strange noises, but nobody believed them. I bet Scott Hancock is producing this. Scott Hancock, it seems to be Rusty Davis' Man Friday now, right? Those who remember and dare still talk of the events from 30 years ago. They whisper about conspiracies and computers, fascists and scientists, and a mysterious man called Eldritch who wanted to bring about the end of the world. Taylor Sullivan knows these stories better than anyone else. Their mother lived through them, but even that cannot prevent what's to come. A new year brings fresh dangers. Can Taylor and their friends discover the secrets of Bishop's Graves past before the past discovers them? I guess the past is going to discover them. Voicing the new generation of students is Bethany Antonia, Nolly, and Stay Close, Get Even. Jake Durbin, for famous being David Tennant, basically. And newcomer H. Wiley as Taylor Sullivan. Producer Scott Hancock, did I call that? Producer Scott Hancock said, Dark Season burned itself into the memories of a whole generation of school children back in the early 90s. It's been an utter joy to work with Russell and on a quartet of news stories, catching up with events from British grade school 30 years later. So I assume they're going to do more, right? They're going to do more with the younger, cheaper cast. I don't see Kate Winslet popping in every 20 minutes. It's been a privilege to revisit the world and reunite the original cast. I don't think anyone could have expected Kate Winslet to return to the role of Reet for Big Finish. Not expected, but I'm far from shocked, right? Look, they got John Hurt to play the Doctor again. But to recall, they got David Warner. They have lots of big names. But to recall scenes with her interacting with the rest of the original cast has been a real thrill. I really wish I saw the original show and loved it, because I'll be excited now. Plus, we have H. Wiley, Bethany, Antonio, and Jake Dublin, the 3 new teenagers ready to take on the world. We could have thrown anything at them, and did. Okay, I don't even know what the was there, but I threw it in anyway. But watching them interact with members of the original cast was a special treat. A whole new Dark Season about to descend, and I can't wait for people to hear it. Dark Season Legacy Rising is available now for $28.99 collector's edition 5 disc box set and download, or $22.99 for download. Blimey, how many discs is that? I guess 5, right? Well, they haven't got a cover yet. Production, it is 5 discs. Damn, that's expensive. That, I think, is going to be a problem for Big Finish moving forward. I really, really do. And we have one more Big Finish story to go over, which am I interested in? I don't really know if I am. The 8th Doctor is to reunite with Cass in new Time War stories. I had no idea who Cass was. I'm like, was she in the Time War beforehand? I don't know. And then the headline explains it. Big Finish is reviving Cass from Night of the Doctor, but how? Who cares? Here's the thing. I'm not really... Stranded was caused a lot of problems for me with the 8th Doctor range, right? The 8th Doctor range I was on board with right from the beginning. Storm Warning, right? Then they changed a different format with Lucy Miller. Fantastic. Then they changed to a new format with Dark Eyes. They did the box sets. Followed it kind of in a soap opera, all the way through. Then the final box set, Stranded, which had a good premise. The Doctor was stranded in London for a year. That year turned out to be 2020. It should have been great, right? But it was very 2020. So we had a major plot point in it was that the Doctor's companion ended up, Liv, played by whatever her name is from Spooks, ended up dating Tanya, a woman with a penis, right? And they really made it part of the core of it, that belief that sexuality is sexuality is universally fluid, or is normally fluid within sexuality and gender are normally fluid within human beings. Now, I think that's a leap of faith, right? I think that's a faith-based move, right? But because of that, I dipped out the range, right? They came back and they got the same companion crew. Yeah. I'm not really interested. So now this is trying to reboot it again a little bit. I don't think I'm in. I mean, like, here's the thing where I am now with Big Finish. I used to be a completist. But once you stop being a completist, the stories have got to really appeal to you. And I'm not seeing anything. I don't go, oh, Cass, the person was in it for 2 minutes. Emma Campbell-Jones will reprise her role as Cass Fermanaghi. The new series of stories audio produced by Big Finish, blah, blah, blah. Mini episode, blah, blah, blah. Yes, we know who she is now. New series of Cass Sandman meets the 8th Doctor again, but at an earlier point in his life. Okay. It's been, I've been very much hoping and wishing ever since we did that I could have more adventure. Well, of course you do, right? Of course you do. Night of the Doctor, it felt like Cass was just starting out. Again, she was like a throwaway character, essentially. I'm sorry. So Time War Castle will be comprised of 3 stories. Right. Meanwhile, Elsewhere by Tim Foley. He was a good guy. Vesperian by Lou Morgan. Lou Morgan's good as a horror writer, but I found her Doctor Who stuff, particularly in the Master stuff, just really tonally off. And the 2-part Previously Next Time by James Moran. Again, good, but look, it's £20 for a download. It's actually, how much is it? Let's go to Big Finish. Doink. How much is it from Big Finish? We go. So this is coming out in January. It's coming out soon. It's £23, $23 for its download. I'm glad the pound's doing bad. So how many discs is that? I mean, the dollar's being bad. It makes it easier. So there's 4 discs. So you get 2 parts. I don't know. Do a trailer yet? I guess I'll wait to hear a trailer. This is not a slam dunk for me. I'm kind of surprised by it, right? This is really not a slam dunk for me at all. But again, what can I tell you? Look, Big Finish have many times over shot themselves in the foot over the last year or so, over the last few years. Having said that, one of their releases I listened to this week was fantastic. The new adventures of Bernie Summerfield, Blood and Steel with David Warner, fantastic. I mean, that's really their best release of the year. Probably one of the best releases in quite so. Really, 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 really good. Fine, there you go. We've walked the news, and the news is a bit warpy. We've gone over the news. You know what's happening in the world of Doctor Who now, unless there's a new news story that's happened. If there is, I guess I'll record an insert and re-upload this video tomorrow morning. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share. When I say tomorrow morning, it'll be this morning for you. Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.